All right, welcome to the Knacker Golfers podcast. Yeah, driving home from work today and had a little bit of time to. I was looking into the week that's going on over at the Olympic Club right now, and it's the U.S. Amateur going on. It's the 125th U.S. Amateur at the Olympic Club, and I guess how the U.S. Amateur works is they have a stroke play event that encompasses both golf courses. And then, I don't know if, I guess whoever is within the first place and 64th place gets to go on to do the match play part. And I hope John Daly is a part of that match play, and I hope I get to see him Friday, because that's a kid that I know a little bit about, and there's a few other ones that are there, like the kid that was at the Wyndham Championship a few weeks ago down in, I guess it was North Carolina or South Carolina. The last event on the PGA Tour, I guess he finished probably, I think it might have been top 10. But I'm looking forward to the day, and I also heard that they're utilizing a few people that are past, Olympic Club champions of whatever tournament they had there. They're going to use Colt Knost as a commentary person, and then they're going to have Kay Cockrell, who I guess I don't know what tournament she won there. If she won a tournament there, I don't know. But then there's Jim Gallagher Jr. that they're going to have there as well, and he won the 1993 Tour Championship at the Olympic Club, and that was the Saturday that I went there with my dad, and it was such a great event that I loved it, and it was like the very first big tournament that I'd ever been to. I'd never been to a major, and the Olympic Club was never a part of any kind of rotation like on the PGA Tour or anything. And they used it once in a blue moon to do something. And they had that tour championship there in 93 and 94. And then the next year, I was actually down at college in Southern California. And I guess Mark McCumber won it that year. But I'll never forget seeing Jim Gallagher Jr. He first shot a 63 on Thursday, and then he was able to beat Greg Norman and David Frost, who were predominantly leading that day. It was Greg Norman, David Frost, Rick Fair, and John Houston, and I can't think of anybody. Scott Simpson, I think, was in the mix on that as well, because he had won the 1987 U.S. Open there at the Olympic Club, beating Tom Watson. But it's a course that's known for being really well-known players, and then people come out from the pack and they beat them. But I guess the thing about it is that it's such a mind-numbingly stressful kind of a golf course where you got to be on it every single shot, and it's such a great test. And I heard that the rough was up back when they had a media day back in July, and there was a guy that was commentating on the Golf Channel that I saw today on the video, and he said that the rough was very similar to the rough at Oakmont, and I'm going like, holy crap. So I've been paying attention to a little bit of the USGA stuff on Instagram this week and also YouTube, and they're just showing these guys, muscling the ball out there and hitting bomber drives out there. And I guess the ocean course, you're able to see you're able to see Daly City, and you're able to see the very scenic, over the top part of Daly City, and I guess you can look over the hill and see the Golden Gate Bridge as well, which is a very beautiful sight. Because I guess after the first hole there on the lake course, you can see the Golden Gate Bridge. On a clear day, if you're lucky enough to get a clear day there, because it's usually, there's a lot of marine layer there, and there's a lot of overcast skies, because that's kind of when, the day usually gets, the marine layer usually burns off, I would think, around, 10 or 11, something like that, and then it comes back in around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's when it gets really cold again. So, I mean, I don't know what I'm going to wear. I don't know what their backpack policy is. I don't know if I can even bring anything in to sort of bundle up when it gets cold. I mean, I was talking to a person today about going to Giants games at Candlestick Park, and I mean, at least they would let you bring stuff in during that, at the time, they would let you bring stuff in to bundle up to stay warm. Any game they used to have at Candlestick Park, they would let you do that, I would think, until they made it mandatory where you can't bring stuff like that in and you freeze your butt off, and you either bring that stuff in that you're wearing and then, discard it or wrap it around your waist or neck or something like that during the day, and then we'll see how it goes, based on that, so I hope that I don't have to do that. I probably will, but I'm just trying to think of what kind of scenario I'm going to look at or what I'm going to have to deal with when I get there. I got to look up what you can bring, as far as, if you can bring food in, or if you probably can't bring any food in because they got to gouge you on the food. But I don't know. I hope there's some good merchandise there that in whatever shop they might have set up for merchandise stuff for the U.S. Amateur. That'd be cool to get. But I'm just looking forward to it. These guys this is probably I would say it's the biggest amateur tournament in the world, and it's actually a full long week. Usually those major tournaments start on, Thursday and go through Sunday, but this has gone all week. And same for the U.S. Women's Amateur that just happened up at Bandon Dunes, and a young lady that did really well at the U.S. Women's Open there recently in the last few years. She actually won the thing. Mega, I think is her name, but it's really cool. That's an amazing place to win at, and that's going to be great to have on a resume. So it's just so great, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. So yeah, hope I get to see John, and that's the only guy I know that's in the field that I would want to see. And of course, there's other guys that are on that. There's a kid from Iceland that's playing in the tournament, and there's a kid that's 6'8". This kid Morrison from University of Texas that's there. I think he may have played in. I'm wondering if I saw him in a British Open tournament maybe last year or something. I don't know, but he's. All these kids can hit the ball a mile, but we'll see. Eyeballs to tee shots. We'll see how they go, and we'll see how it all plays out. So anyway, just wanted to check in. I'm looking forward to the U.S. Amateur this week, and I'll be there on Friday with Mr. Producer, and we're gonna have a ball at the Olympic Club, hopefully. So looking forward to it. Thanks a lot for listening. This is the Akron Golfers Podcast on the Observant Ear Radio Network.